Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the How to Code a Spigot plugin in 1.15 series. Welcome back if you're following along with the series. This episode we'll be going over one more command. Now this is the third part of the commands little section we'll be learning. Next episode we'll go over into items, and that's like custom items and stuff. But in this episode we'll go over something really popular in Minecraft, and that is hoverable and clickable messages. So when someone types in /doctor, this is the plugin we're making. So when someone types in /doctor, look at this message saying, would you like to be healed? And if you notice, if I hover over this message, I get click here to be healed. And if I click on the message, I will be healed. All right, let's get right into the coding. Go ahead to locate your Package Explorer, right click, go to New, Java Project. We're going to name this project Doctor. Make sure you're running the Java 1.8. Go ahead, hit Next. I know you can't see it, but hit Next. Go to the Libraries tab, go to Add External Jars, and Spigot. Find your Spigot jar file. Just like the last episode, we are adding Spigot into our plugin. Once you have Spigot inside the Libraries tab, go ahead and press Finish. Let's open up that project there. And then let's start the coding. In the SRC, we're going to create the package. The package would be me.codedred.doctor. And if you're still having trouble with this package, if you have a website, the website will be com.the-name of your website, .the name of the project. If you don't have a website, you can do me.yourname. My name's Coded Red, so you can put your name here and then dot it with the name of the project. Once you have this in here, go ahead and press Finish. We're going to create our main class. I right clicked on the package here, went to New Class. Like I said, I'm going to name this the main class. And we're going to do the famous 3 things you always do in a main class. And that is extending the Java project and then putting in the onEnable and the onDisable method. All right, on void on disable. And just like I said in the last episode, the onEnable, whenever your plugin's starting up or reloading, the onEnable will run, and whenever the plugin's shutting down or the server's shutting down, the onDisable will run. And again, we will use the onEnable. So I know in the last episode it was running a little bit long, so I went over it pretty fast. We're going to use command executor again in this episode. So we're typing in the onEnable, type in this .get command. And our command is doctor. And we're going to do .set executor to the new, and our class, we'll just call it heal class, to the new heal. And you're going to get an error, and that's because we haven't created a heal class yet. But luckily, pretty sure, yeah. Luckily, if you just hover over heal, you can click create class heal. And then we press Finish. And this is going to create a class heal right with everything that we need. It's going to implement the command executor for us, and it's going to create the on command method here. Pretty neat. And if you didn't, I'll do it one more time. Just make sure y'all see what I did. I'm going to delete the class. So I began by putting in this in the onEnable. I named my class heal. Of course, you can name this doc. You can name, I don't know. I don't know. We can name whatever you want. You can name it doctor if you want. I'm just going to name it heal. And I hovered over heal and went down to create class heal. As you see, when I'm creating this class heal, it has an interface of the command executor right here. I'm going to press Finish, and it's going to have everything set up right for me. So we can go right into the coding of it. I'm going to change all this to sender. CMD, label, and args. I'm going to get rid of the add override. We don't need that. I'm going to get rid of this comment. Instead of the comment, I'm going to put if label dot equals ignored case. And our command is doctor. All right. The first thing we want to do is make sure whoever set in this command is a player and not the console. So just like the last episode, if the sender instance of player, can't type, if it's sender player, return true. And what I did here, if you press I'll go ahead and import that. If you press, no, if you do the exclamation point, it just does the opposite of what you did in here. So if the sender instance of player, so if the sender is not an instance of a player, go ahead and kick them out. And we're going to send a message. And we'll say, we'll send you, we'll just say you've been healed. It's a little joke to the console. There we go. Now that we know that the sender is a player, we can go ahead and create that player. Player will equal the cast of a player to the sender. And the more you code, the more you do player, class of player to sender, you'll just know in the back of your hand, you'll type it up really fast. So don't worry if this all like looks like Chinese to you guys. It's gonna get pretty easy. So once we create the player, we'll go ahead and see if they have a permission node. I don't know if I did this last episode. So if the player doesn't have the permission node, so put an exclamation point there. So player has permission, doctor.use. So right here, this if statement is saying if they don't have the permission, doctor.use, I'm going to kick them out. Return true. And I'm going to say player.send message, check color.red, and I'll make sure that one. And I want to say you cannot use this command. All right, now we are good to go. This plugin is going to have two arguments. It's going to have a hidden argument. So we're going to make sure we handle that correctly. So we're typing if args.length equals 0. So this is the, this is the doctor command right here. And then if it doesn't equal 0, it's going to be doctor heal me. I'll explain why we're doing this heal me command in a second, but let's deal with doctor first. Clickable and hoverable messages are done a bit differently. And I'm actually, we're going to remove that chat color. I'm going to import the bungee one. And that is because of the way chat color, that's the way clickable and hoverable work. Technically, clickable and hoverable events, they are a bungee API event. So you will need the chat color API for the bungee for this to work. So inside here, we're going to do some weird things. We're going to do TextComponent message equals a new TextComponent. And this is where we're going to put our message. And I'm going to say, would you like to be healed? All right. Go ahead and import TextComponent. And like I said, it's a bungee API. So import the bungee API. Now, what I created here, this is just another data type. It is another string or something like that. I created a, that's a perfect example. I created a string message, and the string message is equal to this. The only thing is it's a text component. And it's a text component because we want to add the hoverable and clickable event. And to do this, you type in message dot. If you type in message dot, you'll see a bunch of different things you can do. And the first thing we're going to do is dot set color. The color is chat color, and we'll do gold. And as you can see, this is why I changed the import from bucket.chat color to this bungee one. And that's because this text component uses the bungee one. After we set the color, I'm going to set it to bold. So you're going to message.set bold, and we're going to say true. Next, let's do the clickable. So message.set click event. And make sure you follow along for this one. This one's get pretty confusing. So we're doing message.setClickEvent to a new click event dot action dot run. Oh, I'll show you real quick. So if you do after the action, you type dot, and you can see a bunch of different things that you can do. We're gonna do the run command one. Dot run command. After you do run command, do a comma, and you do the command. So the command is slash doctor heal me. Now, why am I saying doctor heal me and not just heal? Now, the reason is this run command is going to be ran from the player, not the console. And that's pretty important to know. Most of the time, this heal command, no one has permission to. So usually players do not have permission to the heal command to heal themselves. So they won't be able to run this command. And that's why I'm creating a separate heal command. I'm creating my own heal command. I'm doing doctor heal me. Now that click event is done, we can go ahead and create the hoverable event. So message.setHover event to a new hover event. We're going to pass in hover event, just like click event, dot action, dot, and you see all the different things you can do. Show achievement, show entity, show item. We're going to do the show text one. Show text, I'm going to press comma, and then I'm going to go down another line because it's going to get pretty crowded here. If you hover over hover event here, wait, I'll just show you real quick. If I type in 2 quotes, just like doing like this, hover over that error message, and you're going to see the constructor hover event action string is undefined. Basically what it's saying is you cannot use a string here. You're going to need to use something else. And this is only for hover event. And that other thing we're going to need to use is a component builder. So right after that comma, we're going to type in new component builder. Inside here, just like when we create the text component up here, we're going to type in the message. And the message is going to be click here to be healed. Go over one parentheses, type in a dot. Oh, let's go ahead and import component builder first. Make sure you import that. Then press a dot, and we're going to do set color or color dot color, and the color is going to be chat color dot gray. Go over one more parentheses, type in dot, and we'll make it italic, and we'll say true, and then finally dot create, and then it is done. Finally, we want to send this message to the player, and because it is a text component, it's going to be a little different. You're not going to do this player.send message. Actually, I'll type it in just in case. So you see this little error message, and it's because the send message takes in a string, and it's not compatible for a text component. So what we're going to do here is player.spigot.sendMessage. And when you do player.spigot, it allows you to send a text component message. Actually, the parameter for send message through Spigot is a base component you'll see. All right. That is done. We can type in return true. And let's go ahead and do this heal me command next. So right under here, just like the last episode, if the args of 0 dot equals ignore case, heal me, we can go ahead and heal the player. There's 2 different ways to heal this player. You could do player dot set health, I think. Yeah, set health to 20.0. Could do that. Set their health to 20.0, which is max. Max out hearts is 20. But if you wanted to, I'll show you real quick how to send a command through the console. And that is bucket.dispatch command. The command sender, of course. It could be sender. but it can only be sender if the sender is a console. So we want to type in bucket dot get console sender, and then the command. And our command is heal space plus player dot get name. This is two different ways to heal the player. You could do it this way. This way is probably a lot easier. Player does not health to 20. But just to show you guys how to run a command through the console, bucket.dispatch command. And then this is the player who's dispatching the command. And in this case, this would be the console sender. And this is the command. When you're sending command, when you're doing a command through the console, you don't use a slash. That's why we didn't put a slash there. We put a slash here because it's a player. So we did heal space, and I added the player.getName, which is just gets the player as a string. Now, like I said, there's two different ways to set the health. I'm just going to do it this way. We'll enter, and then we're going to send them a message, player.send message. Message, check color dot green. You've been healed. Then we can do return true. Real quick, we have to make sure if they're not typing heal me. I mean, this is really no one really knows, so no one's gonna know about this heal me command. That's like the whole kind of goal, I guess, to this plugin. No one knows about this heal me command. Only people know about the doctor. So, just in case, what if someone does type in doctor dot blah 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 blah? We want to send them a usage message saying player dot send message. Send message. Check color dot red. Usage is slash doctor. Return true. All right, now we covered all of our parameters here. And we're done. Just like that, our doctor command, I should say, is done. So finally, the last thing you need to do, go to this bucket. The last thing you need to do is, of course, add in the Plugin Dot Yml. Just like I said in past videos, make sure you're creating it in the SRC. Right click on SRC, go to File, Plugin Dot Yml, make sure it's all lowercase. And we need a main, a name, a version, and an author. And our commands, 2 spaces, is just doctor. So the main is me.codedred.doctor.main. And this is the package, of course. This is the package right here. And the main is where we did this extends Java plugin. The name is going to be doctor. The version 0.0.1, doesn't really matter what you make your version. And then just go ahead and put your name there. Once you have the plugin.yml all in, we can go ahead, export this to our server. Doctor. And yep. And pretty sure, yeah, everything looks good to me. I'm gonna hop into the server and test it out. All right, now in the server, let's take some damage. Is there any monster nearby? All right, let's. So if I type in, oh god, I full. I will do this fast. Oh god, damn it. All right, let's take damage first. So that's fine. All right, so if I take damage, type in doctor. You'll see would you like to be healed. I'm gonna click on that, and you see I restored full health. And if you notice, you keep clicking on it, you do receive full health. We'll get into cooldowns in a later episode. But that's pretty much all I wanted to show you guys for this one. And we went over Hoverable and Clickable Messages. It's one really popular thing to do. I know that it can be a bit complicated with all of the things you need to do, the component builder and text component, but it's not that bad when you look at it, go ahead and play around with it. It's, like I said, it's really popular to use in-game plugins. When people see that their plugin has a JSON in it, they just love it. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go leave a like, a comment, and I'll see you guys in episode 5 for custom items. We'll be going over some custom dates, pretty sure. See you guys next time.